Selling in Framingham, Mass. No BS guide for high equity homeowners. If you own a home in Framingham, there is a good chance you're sitting on a serious amount of equity. The question right now isn't, is my house worth more than I paid? That part is almost a given. The real question is, am I going to use this equity to move my life forward? Not just let it sit in my walls while everything else gets more expensive. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what's actually happening in the Framingham market right now. The two main timing windows you have as we head into 2026, and how high equity owners can decide whether to sell or wait or quietly prepare for over the next 6 to 12 months. I'm Javier. I'm a realtor based in the Framingham area, and I focus in Boston and in the Metro West area. Framingham isn't just a market I study. This is where I live day to day with my family. If you own a single family home in Framingham, you've been in it for a while, and you know you've built real equity. This video, this is for you. I'm going to keep it simple and honest. No hype, no predictions, just data, patterns, and how I would think about this if I was in your position. Let's start with what the Framingham market actually looks like in plain English. Recent data and deep dive reports on Framingham shows a few important things here. Average sale prices are in the low to mid 700s, up a few percent compared to the previous year. Sales volume, the number of homes actually selling, that has jumped significantly compared to the same time last year. And well-priced homes are still going under agreement in roughly 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes even faster, with many selling at or above their listing price. So what does that mean in real life? It means Framingham is not a slow, stale market. Buyers are still here. Homes are still moving. And sellers who price and present their homes correctly are getting strong, clean outcomes, even in a higher rate environment. It's not the wild pandemic market anymore, and that's a good thing. It's a more thoughtful, but it's still competitive. For high equity homeowners in the Framingham area, I look at the next stretch of time as two main windows. Window number one is what I'd call the early mover window. This is the period we're in right now, in the coming months as we head into 2026. Inventory is usually a little bit tighter. There are fewer competing listings. The buyers who are out are more serious people moving for real life reasons, not just curiosity. If you list in this window with the right strategy, you can benefit from less competition and still tap into a strong demand. Window number two, that is the volume window. That's late spring into summer, when more homes are hitting the market, more buyers are out, and historically, Framingham sees peak activity in some of its strongest prices. In that window, you have a larger buyer pool, but also more competition from the sellers. Which window is the better for you depends less on trying to guess the exact peak and more on which window fits your life in your preparation timeline. Now, who actually has the most leverage in Framingham right now? Most high equity sellers fall into one of a few profiles. First, long-time owners. You bought 10, 15, 20 years ago. Your original purchase price and your current value are in completely different universes. You're still on a lot of equity, and selling could unlock options for retirement, relocation, or a different kind of home that fits the next stage of your life. Second, growing families. You like Framingham, but the house is clearly too small. The layout doesn't work, or you need a different school or neighborhood setup. You're thinking about trading up within Framingham or into a nearby town. Third, equity. Harvesters and relocators. You bought in a lower price range a few years back, your home is worth much more now, and either the house doesn't fit you anymore, or you're thinking about moving to a different area, even a different state. If you recognize yourself in any of those, you have leverage, but only if you use it with purpose. So, how do you decide what to do? Let me give you a 3-part way to think about this specifically for Framingham. First, your life timeline. Ask yourself honestly, where do I want to be living over the next 2 to 5 years? Do I see myself staying in Framingham, but in a different house or different neighborhood? Do I see myself in another Metro West town or leaving Massachusetts entirely? Do I see myself needing more space or less space? If your 2 to 5 year picture clearly does not match the house you're in, that's your first sign that doing nothing by default may not be the best plan. Second, your equity and your numbers. Run a rough calculation. Look at what homes similar to yours in Framingham have actually sold for recently. Focus on closed sales, not wishful asking price. Subtract a realistic estimate of selling costs and moving costs. The number you get is not just a pat on the back. That's a tool you can use to trade up within Framingham or nearby towns, downsize into something simpler and lower stress, relocate somewhere that fits your lifestyle better. In a market where homes are still selling in weeks and demand is still strong, that equity is valuable. It's in demand. The question is whether you're going to keep it locked in your current house or redeploy into something that fits your life better. Third, pick the window that matches your situation. If you're clear on your next move, your finances are in order, and your house that feels too tight, too big, or just wrong, the early mover window can make a lot of sense. Less competition, serious buyers, a chance to move before the next bigger wave of listings. If you know you want to sell, but you need time to fix things up, to declutter, to get emotionally ready, the volume window might be better for you. You give yourself a few months to prepare. You line up your next step. You hit the market when more buyers are out in force. The point is not that everyone should sell now or that everyone should wait. The point is to match your move to your life, your equity, and the reality of how Framingham is performing instead of just guessing based on headlines. If you're still with me, there is a good chance this isn't just interesting information. You might actually be in that place where you've built a lot of equity. You know the house doesn't fully fit anymore, but you're not sure what to do with that. If you own a home in Framingham and you're thinking about selling in the next 12 to 24 months, here's what I would suggest. There's a link with this video that goes to a simple Framingham seller form into my calendar. You can share some basic details about your home, your equity, and your timeline, or you can grab a time on my calendar for a quick call. I'll look at what the data says for your part of Framingham. I'll look at your numbers and your goals, and I'll let you know the truth about what I would do if I was in your position. Sometimes that's a yes, this is a good window to move. Sometimes it's a no, wait and prepare for later. Sometimes it's you're closer than what you think, but here's what we need to fix first. No pressure, no drama, just straight Framingham-specific opinion. You already did the hard part. You bought in Framingham, you've ridden the ups and downs, and you've built real equity. Now the question is whether you're going to let the market and fear decide what happens next, or whether you're going to use that equity intentionally to create the next chapter you actually want. If you want help thinking that through, check in the link, it will take it from there. Javier with EXP and Real Estate Group. Have a blessed day.